Hey guys, so before you start your FRQ for this week, I just wanted to quickly go over some of the task verbs that you'll see on FRQ prompts, especially on the AP exam. So this is something that I really want to drive home because it's important that before you go and write these FRQs, that you really understand what the prompt is asking you to do. That's going to be a big part of your success on the AP exam when it comes to your FRQ responses, is knowing what the question is asking you to do and doing just that. So I've actually pulled this up from the College Board website, and I just want to briefly go through it with you, just kind of as a reminder and a refresher about these task verbs that you'll see in the different types of FRQ prompts. So first, you might have one ask you to compare. So when you're comparing something, especially in those Supreme Court FRQ prompts, it's asking you to provide a description or an explanation of similarities or differences, okay? So when you're comparing, you're looking at maybe the similarities and differences between two Supreme Court cases. If it asks you to define, you're providing a specific meaning for a word or a concept. So if it's asking you to define something, you're giving a definition. If it's asking you to describe it, then you're providing the relevant characteristics of a specific topic. Okay, so if you're describing something, give as many characteristics as you can. Go into as much detail as possible because it's not going to count against you writing more. But if you don't include enough, then you might lose points. If it asks you to develop an argument, again, these are those argument essays. Then you are articulating a claim and supporting it with evidence. So this is where you're writing out a thesis and then you're going to support that thesis. Draw a conclusion. These are going to be more like those quantitative analysis FRQs. This is going to be when you're using available information to formulate an accurate statement that demonstrates understanding based on evidence. Okay, so you're looking at a chart or some sort of graphic and you are making a conclusion based on that chart. If it asks you to explain, and this is the big one that I sometimes see issues with when I'm grading your FRQs, is you're not really explaining something. So you're providing information on how or why. That's the big thing when it comes to explaining, is you're getting to that how or that why. A relationship, process, pattern, position, situation, or outcome occurs, and you're using evidence or reasoning. So you're explaining how. That's going to require analyzing that relationship, process, pattern, situation, or outcome. And when you're explaining why, you're requiring some sort of analysis for motivations or reasons for a relationship, pattern, position, situation, or outcome. So if you are explaining something, it's going to take more than a one sentence answer, okay? Explanation requires you going into a little bit more depth in terms of analysis, okay? So you're getting to the how or the why of something. You're not just describing it or defining it, but answering the how or the why. So typically a because is going to be needed when you're explaining something. And then the last one is identify. So this is when you're indicating or providing information about a specified topic without elaboration or explanation. So if you're identifying, this is where you might have a one sentence answer, okay? So again, defining, that's when you're giving a definition. Describing, that's when you give all of the different characteristics. If it asks you to explain, you're getting to the how or the why, the because, okay? And then if it's asking you to identify, then that can be just a one sentence answer where you are just giving specific information. Okay, so just make sure you understand these task verbs when you go to answer FRQ questions and know what the prompt is actually asking you to do, okay? Because that is going to be part of the score on your AP exam when it comes to what they are looking for. Have you done what the question is actually asking you to do? So just keep this in mind as you go to answer your FRQ questions through the remainder of this school year and then when we get into the AP exam.